when it comes to technology, you in your youth and your parents and your grandparents were mere pedestrians on the road of technology. Today is ride in limousines. With new technologies like iPods, video conferencing, cell phones, the internet, students live in a world that is increasingly technology-driven. So 30 years ago, could you have predicted that tweet would become common usage and friend would become a verb, as in I friended someone on Facebook? Whether we like it or not, technology is an inerasable part of every student's life. So in order to understand 21st century students' needs, teachers have to keep up with their students. And don't be afraid to hitchhike and catch a ride along that technology limousine. So today you may use those technological tools that you never thought possible when you were little. Well, today's students too will be using technology throughout their adult careers. And if you thought the pace of technology developing was fast now, I think it's going to get faster. And so if we believe that school is preparation for the real world, how many think school is preparation for the real world? Raise your hand. I see a lot of raised hands. School prepares kids to go out, get jobs, be contributing citizens. And that school is preparation for life, and we should integrate technology into student careers. If schools ignore technology, and in turn the real world, then their role gets diminished. And that is something that none of us want to see. Although that may answer the question of why innovate, why bring technology into the classroom, it doesn't entirely answer the question of what. What are the qualities you want to see in 21st century students? So I'm a big fan of alliteration. As any language arts teachers here probably know, alliteration is where you use the first letter of a word and you use a bunch of words at the end of that sentence. So I think that some student qualities that are important are confidence in the face of change and competition, the capability to learn new skills, comfortableness with uncertainty. In other words, the 3 C's. So I think that these are important because the world is continually changing. It's not stagnant, the pace of change is really fluid, and it's always moving. So these 3 are very important. In order to reach those goals, students should be able to effectively communicate and collaborate and create, which happens to rhyme. And yes, the 3 C's have reappeared. Alright, so we know that we want students to communicate, collaborate, yada, yada, yada. This vision is very fine and dandy, except that it's still just that, a vision. And in order to make visions a reality, you have to ask yourself, how? Certainly we have many challenging roadblocks when it comes to opening doors to student achievement. There are battles and mountains and rivers in our way. But as the Sound of Music's Mother Abbess memorably sang, my dad always flinches at the high notes, climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow until we find dream. That's the most embarrassing off-key thing I've ever sang in my life. Okay, my sister's going to be laughing at me. But the point remains, despite obstacles, you too can open doors for students to achieve through technology. Despite obstacles, you too can open doors for students to achieve through technology and foster their motivation to create and communicate. Start out by providing tools for students to build solid knowledge foundations, become efficient researchers, and by giving them access to the tools that they love and making them educational. So many people wonder how I started out teaching and writing so young. Am I naturally smart, they wonder? Although I would love to say that's the case, it's unfortunately not quite true. The answer is in large part due to technology. If the road to innovation is a battle, the biggest weapons in our arsenal are the work of students and teachers in the digital world. This includes podcasts, TV shows, blogs, video conferencing, and much more. My story began at the age of 4. My parents had always been big advocates of reading. They would read to us, oh, aren't we cute back then? They would read to us when we were little. As you can see, I'm a tiny little person sandwiched in between. That's my mom and that's my sister, and we are all much littler. And my sister will kill me for including a picture of her when she was little. But my parents were big advocates of reading, so they would read to us before we went to bed, share some of their favorite stories with us. So from a young age, my sister Adora and I equated the pleasure of reading with privilege. It shocked me to learn at the tender age of 5 that not everybody liked to read. That was a really stunning realization. So in hindsight, I'm surprised I didn't realize earlier. My sister and I always had access to computers. There are some great pictures of us when we were little by computers, as you can see there. And we learned how to type and email. At the age of 6, my mom actually bought me my own computer. It was a little black laptop, and I was able to type up my stories on there. Because I was a little lacking in the handwriting department, the typing gave me confidence to advance and to write my stories. Soon I had amassed a large collection of work, which I then published, and it became my book, Flying Fingers. My computer gave me new ways of publishing and reaching out to the world. I started my own blog, aptly titled, of course, Adora's blog. There's not much else I could have called it. On my website, adorasweetalk.com. So I posted frequently about my daily life and reading and writing. On my blog, I wrote not just on my own blog, but also on an education blog, The Educator's Royal Treatment. I correspond over email with other young authors and students I've taught through video conferencing. Oh, and video conferencing, I teach every day through that. And there is another story to this. The people who discovered me, and, well, I shouldn't put that in quotes, who really discovered me, have helped me by giving me lots of technology. So where is Jan Zanitas from here? Yay! Hello, everybody. Jan gave me my first video conferencing unit, my first and only video conferencing unit, and through that unit I have taught over 300 schools around the country, over 400 actually, around the nation, around the world. So let's have a round of applause for Jan Zanitas. Thank you so much. So this brings up another point that I wanted to discuss. Much of my success has not been due to the fact that I'm a genius, actually the idea that I'm a genius, which I'm not by the way, but rather the help that others have given me, the support that I've gotten from others. And that is a really important thing you need to realize. Not all students are able to just go out there and speak in front of a crowd. It's really the people that help them along the way, and you can have that role as well. Now, people often support me in the lovely, enviable form of technology. So my house's basement is now a big collection of all kinds of technology that I use every day. I video conference, I live stream, I use an active board. It's many different kinds of technology opening many different kinds of doors for me. A master key, if you will. Students are already experts at opening doors to worlds of gaming and entertainment. But using keys to open different kinds of doors, like those in education, gives you some exercise with flexibility, exercise to your wrist. In other words, finding new ways to apply technology you already know well is a great way to expand critical thinking skills. But remember, even master keys can't just stick themselves in a lock by themselves. They need someone to turn them.